Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday morning. I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's all right. I hope the day and the week is treating you well, as well as it possibly can. In this video, we're talking about the interest surrounding Tyler Dibling, Angel Gomes. We're going to be talking about some weird old reports surrounding both of these guys, summer moves, January moves. We'll get our head around it together, I promise. So we're talking about that. We'll be doing the loan roundup as well, which you know what we do. We try and rip through them in sort of 30 seconds ago. To give you a heads up as well, later today, we will do the preview for the Elfsborg game, probably around about 6 p.m. tonight. Okay, so yeah, make sure you keep yourself alert for it. So yeah, anyway, morning, Steve. Steve's from New South Wales. Love it. It's probably a lot better than the weather here. It's blustery, it's windy like crazy, and it's raining like mad. My dog walk will be fun. Morning, Spurs, Dean, Bazza, Dragon, Alez, Jake. Morning, all. How are we all? How are we all? Tony as well. Please like and subscribe, lol, before Levy disbands the club and moves to concerts only. We will be there to cover the concerts then. We'll be there for that. I can't wait to cover Beyonce, the Beyonce tour. Morning, Adis as well. How are you? So look, let's I've just got a quick look through. Yeah, we've got multiple reports. We've got funny old reports surrounding Spurs and what their interest was like in for defenders and where that is right now, which is a bad sign. Anyway, let's rip through the loan roundup. We're going to rip through it in about 3 to 4 minutes. We're going to be really, really quick because there wasn't that much great stuff this week. So start your stopwatches. All right, start your stopwatches. We're going to do it. As soon as it hits 2 minutes, you have a bit of an idea how quick I'm about to do it. All right. Leeds. We'll start with Leeds and Manor Solomon. All right. So you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Leeds United 0-0 away to fellow title challengers Burnley. Really bad game. No good game in this. There was one shot on target between both teams. Manor Solomon did start and then was substituted and booked as well. But Leeds still top of the table. Leyton Orient 2-0 win at home versus Reading, which obviously Josh Keeley, another clean sheet. Jamie Donnelly, another 90 minutes. And Leyton Orient actually leap above Reading right now. And they are 1 place off the promotion spots. And they're actually only 1 point off. And they're 3 points behind 5th. So Leyton Orient have really completely turned this around. They're 4 wins in 5. Both our guys having a huge part to play in that as well, which is great to see. Westerlo losing 2-1 at home versus Genk, and they should be upset with this performance. I mean, they had 3 times the amount of shots, 3 times the amount of shots on target. They had 7 corners to Genk 0, and they only scored in the 87th minute to make it 2-1. You know, both Devine and Vuskovic both started. You'd have to be unhappy with that performance for sure. Espanyol 1-0 away to Sevilla. I mean, 25% possession, Espanyol. Sevilla had 25 shots, 4 on target. They had 5 corners to Espanyol's 1. Not good. I mean, you wouldn't want to be sitting there watching Espanyol, would you? Veliz came off the bench in the 73rd minute as well. Should have had him on from the start and you'd have won. Girona losing 2-1 away to Rayo Vallecano. Brian Hill actually scored in this game. And again, Rayo Vallecano are actually now above Girona. And I mean, Girona just such a weird team, 29 goals scored, 29 goals conceded, 2 wins in their last 5 with 3 losses. And they're just not the same team. I think European football has kind of taken them a little bit, as well as obviously selling off of, Savio and things like that. So City 0-0 draw at home to Oxford United. Ashley Phillips playing the full 90, so a good clean sheet for Ashley. 7 points behind Oxford United. Stoke are only 2 points clear of the relegation zone. So you'll have to be a little bit worried, really, now heading into the second half of this season. Things are not looking great. No wins in their last 5 with 4 draws. So not great. Mansfield Town, just give you a heads up, Matthew Craig didn't play, so we're going to move on from that. Notts County 1-1 draw at home to Bromley. George Abbott started and played the full 90. And Forest, County, not Forest, definitely not Forest. County are in the playoff spots right now. They are 2 points clear of 8th, who are the first team out of the playoff spots. And by the way, they love George Abbott. They love George Abbott down in Nottingham. So happy days for that. And there you go. I did the loan roundup in just under 3 minutes. That wasn't too bad, was it? That wasn't too bad. All right. Girona are they're the Spanish Spurs. Spanish Spurs. Uh, we signed anyone yet? Oliver, you're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. Oh, Man United just signed someone. There you go. Man United, who are riddled with debt, have a new manager and they're signing players. It's a youngster. Don't panic. All right. But they are, to give you a heads up, Dorgu is apparently at its final stages to Man United, a 37 million euro deal, by the way. Must be nice to sign players. I don't know if do you guys miss signing players? I miss signing players. We are cooked. Fair enough. Rec, how are you, mate? You deserve a Robinson's summer fruit squash. I didn't pour one. And I'm annoyed with myself that I didn't pour one. I was busy recording for the second channel and I only finished uploading just before 10:30. So I'm annoyed with myself. Morning, Martin. How are you, my friend? We need to see me. Well, do you know what? Let's talk about some transfer news because we got a lot to get through. So Lyle Thomas, who works for Sky Sports, to give you a heads up, last night tweeted, so Tottenham then find it surprising they haven't gone hard for another left-sided centre-back, given the obvious gap there is between Romero van der Ven and how poor the defensive record is. XG against is 14th in the league, while XG is 6th. They'll never struggle to make chances, right? They considered it and apparently asked about some like Hanko and Boscagli, but all focus has been on a new forward, which again, to me, seems less necessary. Centre mid was also position left over from summer. Let's see what they do this week. And that's just appalling. Let's be real here. That's appalling. We obviously have defensive issues all across the back line. Okay, the attack is, there's weakness in the attack due to fatigue and overplaying. Maybe in the midfield you could say the same. It kind of, had you had maybe another midfielder or had you had another defender, you'd actually have another midfielder in the midfield because Archie Gray wouldn't have to play all across the back line. Davies got injured December 8th, has only just come back within the last week. Okay. Let's call it the last 10 days. He's come back on January the 18th. So he was out for 6 weeks. Romero's been gone, a few weeks before that? Van der Ven the same. So in reality, we've missed Van der Ven and Romero for at least 2 months now. Maybe even longer. I mean, again, I did this the last time. Spurs versus Chelsea. When was the exact date of this? December 8th. So nearly 2 months ago, we lost both of those players in that exact game. So you've had December 8th, I think a little bit longer for the other ones as well. So you've been missing players since then, and the neglect is crazy. It's just crazy. The drop-off really is mental. And, Dragoshin has been playing through injuries and illnesses. Same with Archie Gray. And you still haven't signed a centre back. All I'm going to say is when Romero came out and said about the higher-ups, Romero was bang spot on. All kudos for him. DCAD, how are you, mate? Wow, another kid and a bang average player. Oh, he's not bang average. Dibling's an exciting player. But I get where you're going, Rich. Come on, Andy. Our transfer window starts at 12 a.m. on 3rd of Feb. Yeah. It'll be shut for an hour, but it'll start then for us. Oh, we tried our best. Dog, go on, better make that a double summer fruit squash. Oh, it's going to put some bleach in there as well. It's the guy that we've been linked to so many times, the guy that I've wanted for left back for the last 18 months or whatever it's been. Going to Man United. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. We're about 3 players short in the summer window. Best case scenario is more jam tomorrow, lining up Gomes and Dibling. Well, we were talking about them. Ange making news over here in Oz at the moment. I hate being a Spurs supporter over here at the moment, but I've supported Spurs since I was 6, and everyone loves talking about Spurs over here. It's just newsfeel drama, isn't it, with us, So look, there's that first bit of nonsense when it came to that centre-back situation. So we're going to look at this report. So the Telegraph put out at nearly 9 a.m. yesterday, I think it was. Oh, 9 a.m. this morning. No, 9 a.m. this morning. So the Telegraph has said that Tottenham have held talks over moves to sign Southampton's Tyler Dibling and Lille's Angel Gomes, right? Paul O'Keefe I think last night saying that Spurs are trying to get a deal done for Tyler Dibling. One potential scenario is to allow him to stay at Southampton until the summer. How is that backing the manager? Hey, Andrew, we signed you someone. We signed you a winger. He's really excited. Oh, brilliant. Where is he? Good that you ask. He's going to be here in the summer. And Andrew's like, but I could be sacked in 3 weeks' time. You're not supporting me. That's not supporting me. That's not helping me. And Spurs going, well, we tried. It's just, what are we doing? Look, Dibling's great. Look, if they said, look, we're signing Dibling for the summer, that's coming out the summer transfer window, but we're getting someone now, then I'd go, okay, let's do it. But you're signing a player for the summer when we're so desperate for players right this second. Like I said, we're 4 weeks into this window, by the way, 4 weeks. We've signed a keeper. We've signed a keeper. What are we doing? We are desperate for outfield players. We've been desperate for outfield players for about 2 months, and they went, think about a keeper. How about that? And you're like, am I going insane? Am I the only one that can spot that we need defenders more than we need anything else in this team? You know? There's been reports that we're looking at paying a release clause. Yeah, no, we're not paying for. If we're Nico Williams is a great shout, right? The guy's on what, over 300 grand a week? Come on, Spurs aren't touching that with a 20-foot pole. Neither Gomes Dibling is what we need, so massively frustrating. With the wage structure, you won't join us. Why don't we ever buy players that improve our first team? Because that costs money, and Daniel Levy doesn't want to do that. So look, there's that on those guys. I mean, Matt Law putting out yesterday mid-afternoon saying that Tottenham looked to give Postecoglou a timely boost in January and also start working on potential summer deals. Why the hell are we working on summer deals when we're in a window right now? That's like next summer going, right, we're going to sign these players, but we're actually going to work on January transfer window. And it's like, what are we doing? Time out. Time out. Right, let's just take a breather. We're in a transfer window now, and we need help now. So can we focus on the now? And then when the window shuts, let's think about the next window. And then Johan Lane going, I hear you. Do you know what? I'm listening. Let's get some freeze on the summer. It's like, no, you're not listening. Bud, you're not listening. Look, I know you're not doing a very good job, but listen to me because I'm going to try and help you, right? You listen? Johan. In the room. Yeah, there you go. We're in a transfer window now. Get it? Right, now. Not like in a week, not 2 months ago, now. And we need players now, yeah? You got that. Right, so you understand that. 3rd of Feb, or wherever it is, 3rd of Feb at 11 p.m, it shuts, right? You got that. Note that down. Write that down. No, stop doodling. Just write that down, right? Yeah, got it. Good. So we need players now, and you've got till then. So pull your finger out, get to work, yeah? Cheers, bud. You know, it's just mental. I bet you won't save money signing now for summer. He did with Lucas last year and the other South Korean kid as well. But we tried, Andy. Come on. What's the date today? 28th of Jan. 28th of Jan. Johnny Cardoso and Dibling would be the only way to save this window. Sell Biss would be great. But they're not going to sell. They're not going to sell a player like Biss because, I mean, they don't even. They don't. That's not what they do. 7 players when we don't have enough doesn't make sense. Will Ange go soon at the end of the season? Do you think? Well, it really depends on the next couple of weeks. You know, if you factor in the Elfsborg game on Thursday, you win that, you're through into the next round of the Europa League. That's one of his goals for the first part of the Europa League was automatic qualification to the next round. Tick. Right? Great. Next thing would be a good domestic cup run. Okay, so you're still in both of those. Okay, so that's we'll call it a tick at the moment, but it could be scribbled out to an X. You never know. If he was to get through against Liverpool, I say he's the only one playing. If we were to get through against Liverpool, he's not getting sacked. Even with the league form being as poor it is, he won't be because he's still in the Europe. He gets to a cup final, and if he gets past Aston Villa as well, he'll be safe to the end of the season. Because you can't sack a manager who, yes, okay, the Premier League form's not great, but he's doing bloody well in the cups. You can't sack him. And technically you can. I know you can. And he sacked Mourinho for getting to a cup final, and we were 7th. But yeah, they're not going to sack him. Also, Bradshaw is looking to leave its consultancy roles. He has had a falling out on lounge. I haven't seen anything about that. Still, Bassman haven't asked for Douglas Luiz on loan. Such an Ange could survive if he wins in cups, but he gets no backing to give him more of a chance in the cups. Professional football club claiming to be a top 6 and possessing a full recruitment team. Why can't they do both at one time? Well, you'd think, Philip, wouldn't you? Competency and multitasking should be something you should be able to do in football. I mean, it literally says Tottenham have been. Listen to this. This, I was talking about like PR spin. Spurs are running out of PR spin because normally what it is when things aren't going well, they adjust things and twist things, and when things aren't going well, they manipulate the media to buy themselves time. They manipulate the media to make them like martyrs and like the fact that they're the ones that should feel sympathy for. Daniel Levy, highest paid chairman in the last 20 years, taking over 50 million in payments from the club, right? Owns shares in the club. He's not a martyr. He's not. No one should ever feel sorry for him. Oh, some people said Levy out. You deserve it, mate. Sorry. The whole media agrees. You deserve it. Other than Simon Jordan, you're busy. Everyone else agrees. I mean, apparently there's a report from the Simon Jordan interview that he says he would rather sacrifice money and win a cup. It's like, no, he wouldn't. There's literal evidence year on year that he's trying to save money often instead of winning things. He cares about top 4. That's all he cares about because that's the most amount of money you can get. Finishing 2nd and finishing 4th to him is the exact same thing. Finishing 1st, he'd think that's great, but it's 3rd is the exact same as 4th. 2nd is the exact same as 4th to him, But it says this: Tottenham are looking at defenders and forwards this month, but have found the January market to be extremely challenging. Okay, it's extremely challenging. So why is it that Aston Villa, who from 2023 to 2024 had spent 96 or 97% of their revenue that they made as a club on footballers' wages? Okay, yes, they got Champions League football, but their wages have gone up because they've obviously spent money on players. Well, they're going to look to sign Juan Foyth. They're looking to sign Axel Disasi, and they're looking at getting João Felix in. But Spurs make even more money than them, over double, and we spend less than 40. It'll be less than 40% now on wages. So I don't really get that. That's complete rubbish. If you think of Man United, riddled with debt. Weird ownership situation, very toxic atmosphere, spending 37 million euros on Patrick Dorgu. Spurs have spent 12 million on Kinski. Okay, that's an issue. That doesn't make sense. Man City spending over 70 million on Marmoush, over 40 on Kusanov, looking to bring in more. Well, they've already spent over 115 million. So, don't really get that. Who else is there? There was someone else that I wanted to talk about in the Premier League that's doing business. It's escaped me, but we'll come back to it. What we saying? Morning, Aldente, how are you, mate? Thinking you deserve a lot more for this channel, mate. You give balanced views and clearly bring passion. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing well, mate. Thanks for the lovely comment. Hope you are as well. Levy likes to buy quantity, not quality. That's why we should never have high expectations, just high ticket prices. I mean, if he truly cared, he would lower the ticket prices, but he doesn't. Levy, done that. How will Levy deal with buying players from the relegation zone once we get there? There won't be any teams below us to buy from. Herbert Mourinho, he had a trophy clause in his contract. Yeah, what it was is that if he was to win a trophy, there's a bonus, but also his sacking fee. So when you get sacked, you normally get given compensation. It would have gone up. So I think it was only a few million without the trophy, but with the trophy, it would have trebled or quadrupled or something stupid. And that's just cosh, Hey, Polly, how are you? My partner was diagnosed with cancer, but we move on. Andrew's been told to win the Europa League to get Champions League. We won't get relegated. I'm sorry to hear about that, Polly. Sending positive thoughts and prayers. T's and P's. Hope all is well in Polyland. Aside from that, obviously. But yeah, hope everything's okay. It's only changed if you don't want to spend money. Morning, Liam. How are you, mate? Levy out. Straight in there, wreck. Levy out. I'm not having this. So look, there's that. I mean, there was a report from the Mail Sports saying that Spurs chairman Daniel Levy wants his recruitment to be ahead of the curve. He has seen what Brighton and Brentford have done with a data-led approach. Now, Brighton and Brentford, can I just stop there? Brighton and Brentford, right? Mid-table-ish teams. They buy players, they have them for a couple of years, their price raises to the ceiling, they sell them, and then repeat cycle. We are the 8th highest earning revenue club in the world. Not the Premier League, the world. And we only, revenue-wise, this year would have gone up due to the European football. Because that last figure was based on us not having European football. This year's accounts will be based on that. So when we're talking about Spurs earning over 600 million in revenue, it's going to go up towards 700. Sponsorships, match day revenue, TV revenue. Well then, sorry, Brighton and Brentford, whose revenue probably doesn't even equal together, put together our revenue, including Brighton having European football as well, we shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Now, if they went, they're signing people for like 5-10 million, we're going to sign guys for like 25-30, but we're going to sign loads of them, and maybe I might understand that, but we're not doing that. Archie Gray is not a data. He's not a data signing. Everyone could tell Archie Gray was going to be a good player. Everyone. You didn't need to be a rocket scientist to look at him and go, he looks quite good. You know, watching Leeds away to Chelsea last season and realizing he was the best player on the pitch, you probably could work out from that game alone, he looks pretty decent, this guy. Oh, he can play right back as well as centre mid. Well, that's versatility that we can get on board with. And then Daniel Levy went, but Ange, you need to lose him at left back and centre back as well, by the way. Thanks. Cheers, bud. It's like, what? You know, I don't get that. So look, for me, it's absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Poch, mate, Liam, Poch isn't fixing this. As much as there's a lot of sentiment around Poch, Poch isn't fixing this. This ship was sinking when Poch was here, and all it is sunk further and further. It's the higher ups. They don't want to spend money. If you don't spend money, if you make the squad weaker in theory and drop wages, you're only going to get worse as a football club. Simple as that. I mean, we finished 5th last season with 10 places lower. We've reduced our wages whilst revenue's gone up. No, there's no manager fixing it. I mean, again, look at all the injuries. No manager's fixing it. We had injury issues under Poch, which makes me, it's now making me think, hang on a second, we had injuries under Poch, we had injuries under Conte and Mourinho, we had issues under Ange. Can we just hire a competent medical team? Would that be nice? That I feel like, if they went, we're going to sign 2 players in January and we're going to sign a world-class medical team, I'd go, brilliant. That's a great window, because you know what? A couple of players helps, but our players are going to be 25% of the time fitter and fitter. Great. That's like new signings. But instead, he cheaps it out, he half-asses it, and he makes an absolute pigsty of it, you know? Revenue up, as you say, but also wages will be lower. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think it'll be like 35% of our revenue will be on wages. And he'll be there twerking in the media. Look at our financial results. Look at this. Look at that. The stadium makes all this money. Look at this. Look at that. And then someone goes, Daniel, what about players? He goes, sorry, you want another concert? You can have one. And you're like, Beyonce can't play centre mid, mate. Conte must be laughing his head off when you spend simple. Maybe we use the NHS as our medical team. Yeah, Desi Doggy was actually, they said he's going to be out for 10 weeks. It should have been like 3. We had to wait 6 weeks for an appointment. Daniel, what about trophies on the field? You're in the trophy. It's called the stadium. Wasn't the medical team already here when Ange arrived? So, no, they changed the medical team in the summer as well. And then they've changed it again in January. I think they've had like 3 or 4 different medical teams whilst Ange has been here. I feel like you could hire a really good medical team, right? Just as this is a wild suggestion. What, like, you're going to be sitting there going, hey, how wild is this going to be? It's going to be wild. You hire a competent medical team, and you probably don't get Ben Davies rushing back to training and getting injured. Just, you know, that's just one player. That's just what I'm not even talking about, you know, the rest of them. That's just one player, you know. Hey, Luke, I'm good, mate. Apparently, Yang might be going to QPR on loan. I haven't seen it personally. Also, there's no indication of Levy selling. No, Levy's not selling. Mick Jagger and Keith Rigid at centre back. We will be there. I reckon Mick's got a bit high on him. He must be like 6'1", 6'2", surely. He must be all right in the air. Not sure how tall Keith is. Who hires the medical team? Then that'll be the higher ups. I'm going to use that Beyonce line. Yeah, can she play centre mid? Is Davies injured again? No. What I'm saying is Davies a few weeks ago rushed back to training, got injured again in training because he wasn't ready yet, and then had to get delayed another week. So yeah, it's more about incompetency because like people put that on Ange, and it's like, yeah, but if he's not ready to come back to training, that's not on Ange. That's on the heart. That's on the medical team. And they go, yeah, but what if Ange is putting the pressure on the medical team to get players back? It's like, yeah, but as the medical team, you should have final say to be like, look, oi, it's not happening. It's not happening. He's not ready yet, you know? So there's that. Oh, there was one other thing, actually. There's one other thing I want to talk about. I saw it and I forgot to bring it in. So apologies. Let me get it up. So Premier Insider put out that Tottenham are interested in bringing back Carl Walker-Peters to the club. Talks have been held over making a move for Brighton striker Evan Ferguson. Matisse Tell on loan has also been discussed. Well, let's go one by one on this. Matisse Tell's not happening. He's not happening. I mean, Chelsea want him, so he's not happening. Evan Ferguson, their report was Brighton are reluctant to let him leave on loan to Spurs because they reckon he might end up being the third striker. So, I mean, even with Richarlison's injuries, he'd be the third striker. And then on Carl Walker-Peters, I've said Carl Walker-Peters makes sense because he can invert fullback from left back. He can play right back. He's academy trained, so he can also play in Europe. But why is it that it's taken 4 weeks to get to that point? You know? It's just mental. It's absolutely mental. So look, I don't personally see it. But we'll have to see, won't we? Milker team would need increased wages at this rate, hardest working department. And they take their work home with them. All right, Ben, I've got to go to dinner. Sit there. We'll go to dinner. We'll do some hamstring stretches. And if Ange loses at home to 50 Cent, he's out the door. Yeah, 50 Cent's coming out to many men, and I'm just going, many men. They're in the injury room. They're not out here. It's just me and Archie Gray and Jed Spence, who's also somewhat injured. So this is the many men. 50 Cent's like, what the hell's going on here? Just like Van Venera, you're talking crap, fellow. Explain how Bournemouth can. I assume you meant to put in you're talking crap, comma. Fella, explain. I think that's what you're trying to say. Well, yeah, you can have 11 injuries, but if you actually deep their injuries, how many of them are out and out starters? There's a lot of backups on those injury lists. They also play once a week compared to 3 times a week. There's a real big difference in there. Spurs also reducing their wages, kicking out players from the club, Højbjergs, Emerson's, Skips, you name it. All players that played a part last season, didn't replace them. There you go, bud. What about our loan players that are doing well? Yeah, but the issue is for me, we shouldn't be bringing them back. We should be keeping there so they can keep doing well and bringing in fresh blood, you know? Big up, Andy. Thanks, Wizard, mate. Thank you, mate. If Ange can't do it, homie, it can't be done. 50 Cent is our chance of budget for January. There you go. We're hitting new lows in this chat. But yeah, Carl Walker-Peters does make some sense. Yes, maybe he's not the sexiest of signings, and maybe and maybe, you know, yeah, we could do better. And Patrick Dorgu would be better, maybe. But he's Prem proven. He's academy trained. He's homegrown. He's out of contract in 6 months, so you could maybe get him cheaper. The other key thing is this. Obviously, he's at Southampton like Dibling. Do you get both in one walker? Doubt it. You might get Carl Walker-Peters, but there'll be a deal in place that you get Dibling in the summer, which means they're probably not going to sign an attacker. And there you go. There's our one outfield signing is Carl Walker-Peters, which is an absolute abject failure of the window. You know? So are we getting Dibling before the window's shut? Just give an answer, please. I just did. We need quality, not possibles. I'd be happy with Cole Peters and Marcus Edwards, right? I don't think we'll get Marcus Edwards. Again, Marcus Edwards, academy trained, could play in Europe, but I don't think he's been very great for Sporting Lisbon for the last 18 months. It just feels like, I mean, that 35% sell-on clause, if you're to say, well, that factors in, we'd probably get him for like 2 million at this point because his value is down in the bin. Dan Lee's proposal to Walker Peters is like the Blues Brothers were getting the band back together, and Carl Walker Peters going, "Oh, I'm going to be playing 3 games a week at 90 minutes a week, aren't I?" He's already tired thinking about it. He's like, "I'm absolutely shattered thinking about that." Buy Cisco now. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Nah, not happening. Not happening. So there you go. Some interesting stuff there. Obviously, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're watching this back, let me know down below. Obviously, on Cole Peters, Evan Ferguson, the Hanko, Boskagli, Dibling, Gomes, and all that stuff. Let me know down below. There's so much there to talk about. Obviously, loan roundup if you want to talk to me about that. I will be back later in about 7 hours' time to do the preview for the Elfsport game. Join me then, and I'll speak to you all then. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your days. Peace.